kindergarten. So this week we are learning all about weaving and talking about the tradition of weaving within the Ojibwe Native American culture. So we are looking at that art form, and then we're also looking at the artist Jim Oskanigish, and he is a painter from the Ojibwe culture who paints these really bright and colorful, whimsical paintings of animals that are important to him and his culture. So we're going to kind of take those two ideas and combine them and make an animal weaving. And I'm going to be showing you how to make a weaving using a fish, but you can kind of make it whatever type of animal you want it to be. Let's get started. So the things you will need are a blank piece of construction paper or any piece of paper that has some color to it. If you don't have any sort of colored paper or construction paper, you can always take a white piece of paper and use a marker or a crayon and kind of color whatever colors you want on it just to make it colorful. And then you need paper strips. So we're going to start first by making our loom. Our loom is going to be what holds everything together. Now our loom is going to be in the shape of a fish, so I'm going to show you how to make a fish weaving, but if you wanted to make another sort of animal, go right ahead. Just follow these instructions, but then fit it to whatever animal you want to make. So what we're going to do first is fold this paper in half. Increase it. Now we just talked about symmetry, and we are going to be making a symmetrical fish. So make sure you're on the fold. Make sure that folds the middle part of your drawing, what we're going to draw here. We're just going to draw half of a shape of a fish, and then we're going to cut it out. So fish can be all different shapes. I'm going to do just a basic shape, but feel free to add fins or other things like that to your fish. So I'm starting here, and I'm just drawing, coming outwards, and then come back, and I'm going to have that come out like that for the tail. So if you can kind of picture what that's going to look like, there is half of my fish. Now I'm going to cut this out while it's still folded. And then unfold it, and I have my fish shape. So again, if you wanted to make fins or other things coming off of your fish, or just make it kind of a different shape, that's perfectly fine. It's up to you. So our next step now, we actually are going to keep it folded. And what we're going to do, I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm just going to use my ruler as a straight edge, and I'm going to draw lines. And make sure you're doing this on the fold in the middle of your fish. I'm just going to draw lines across the whole length of my fish. Now the key is to not draw these lines all the way to the edge. You want to stop a little bit before, because you're going to end up cutting on these lines, but we don't want to cut the fish in half. We don't want to cut off certain parts of the fish. So we just want those lines in the middle and not all the way to the edge. So I did about 5 lines. Now I'm keeping it folded, and I'm going to cut just on those lines. Now when I open my fish, I should see those strips on the inside of my fish. Nothing got cut off. They're all within the inside part of my fish. This is what I'm going to be using as my loom, and it's going to hold my weaving together. Now it's time to take my strips and weave them over and under all of these strips that are on my loom. So we'll start with the first one. I should also point out, if you wanted to decorate these strips before you wove them into your fish, that's a great idea. You can go ahead and do that. I think I might actually do that. Let me do that quick. Alright, now I'm ready to start weaving. So I'm going to start with one strip. Now it helps if you hold it up from your table and kind of use your fingers to work from behind it to push up those parts of your loom. What you're going to do, the entire time you're weaving with your strips, you're going to be going over and under all of these parts of your loom. So you're going to either start over and under. I'm going to start by going under this first strip. I'm going to go under. In this next one, I'm going to go over, pull it through and put it, make sure it goes over. Then for the next one, I'm going to go under, and then I'm going to go over. I'm going to pull that through. Oops. Now I'm on to my next strip. Now we're going to do that same motion over and under, but we're going to make sure that it's opposite from this row that we just did, because we want it to be kind of interwoven. We don't want it to be the exact same, otherwise everything would just slide through. So we're going to do the opposite. So look where we started. We started this row by going under. So we're going to start instead by going over, and then under, and then over, and then under again, and then over. Now you're going to continue that until you reach the top of your fish. Now, once you've woven all of your strips in to fill in that inside part of your fish, there's a little bit of trimming we need to do. So these edges that are sticking off, we are going to actually trim those so that they aren't sticking off of our fish in random spots. So I'm just going to trim this a little bit. And then on the back, trim also so it's not sticking out. So there I have my fish weaving. I can add some decorations to it if I would like to. I can add other colors to it. I can draw an eyeball and a face. The rest is really up to you. I can't wait to see what you guys create with this, and I hope you have fun.